In 1995, I was here in Aqaba when the earthquake hit. I really can relate to the panic of the people.
It may distract years and years of development in a few seconds. The probability to have them are very small, but the damage is very high.
Disasters don't stop at the border. These are cross-border issues.
It's the last region in geographical terms that have decided to meet together.
Really, we hope that from this conference we'll have recommendation really showing what the Arab world is needing.
And part of that, I'm very convinced, has to be regional cooperation.
Above all, we must strengthen capacities and increase investments to reduce the risk of large-scale destructive disasters caused by tsunamis and earthquakes. The only thing, ladies and gentlemen, that can grow by sharing is knowledge, and we must share our knowledge.
All the Arab countries are interested in disaster risk reduction because, as you know, the Arab region is prone to disasters. We have different types of disasters, but the biggest problem in the Arab region is desertification and drought.
Arab Spring is not related only to political reasons. No, it is in reality related to poverty. I would say it's about climate change, and it's also about disaster risk.
In October, when we had the flash flood, the water were coming from here, and 2 casualties were at the bottom of the wadi. Almost 600 families were moved to the Al-Karama, and they were given new apartments, small apartments. It depends on your family size. Recently in ASEZA, we have what we call like a committee to do like a spot check. You come to the building during foundation to make sure that whatever in the plans are on place. Now, our primary goal at this current stage is that to have everybody reading from the same page. So when you talk disaster risk reduction, everybody knows that we are talking about something that should be invested before the disasters happen.
You will need private funds. You will need the population be aware that when you have heavy rainfall here, that they're aware it could be that we have to move out and things like that. I mean, there's a lot to do to protect the area.
نحن في اليمن نعاني من نقص الوعي. هذا ما نعانيه بالضبط، نقص الوعي على المستويين، المستوى الرسمي والمستوى الشعبي.
So it varies from country to country, you know, and we have here in this region mixed between natural disasters and man-made disasters.
Capacity building and the resources and the awareness. I believe these 3 items or elements are the most important things to make the region prepared to confront disasters.
We have a focal point. Most of these focal points are with civil defense. Civil defense mentality, you know, all the time just divert to response.
Everybody was saying why ASEZA has to interfere with the management of disaster, especially the people from the civil defense.
Yes.
They thought that we are going to take their responsibility. If we look at disaster risk reduction, one of the most powerful tools to implement disaster risk reduction is if you have a physical planning process in place. And ASEZA, as a local government, is famous with its master planning process. In fact, all development within ASEZA goes as per the master plan.
Aqaba as a point of reference for a lot of the discussions. I have seen a leadership that is absolutely convinced that in order to sustain Aqaba's economic development, they have to recognize risk and understand it.
It is extremely important, and it is very important that people understand the economic viability of being prepared for disasters. Because if you are prepared, and if all your institutions and infrastructure is very well prepared for disasters, then you will incur less losses.
The reason why we are driving the economic argument so hard is that classically disasters have not really been seen in economic terms. They are temporary losses, but there have been very little attention to the accumulation of losses and the developmental impact of it.
We did a visit to Istanbul, and we saw how important this volunteer business is, how effective it is in terms of preparedness and response. So we said, okay, we are going to invest in a small-scale pilot project in Aqaba here.
أدوات الإسعافات الأولية الرئيسية هون، وكل متطوع له شنطة إسعافات أولية أوريدي معاه. للإضاءة عندنا مهدات في حالة لا سمح الله شيء يعني حدا انحبس كذا يحتاجنا نهد.
هذا هو ما نرجوه دائما، هو تبادل للخبرات وتبادل المعارف وأخذ المعارف الدول التي قد سبقتنا ببعض الخطوات.
If we involve the community from the beginning, from the scratch, and we organize the local community very well, we will ensure the sustainability issue with them.
من خلال استعدادنا هذا احنا بنكون وقفنا قدر كبير من الكارثة لا سمح الله. بدي اشتغل على عقول اهل الحي، بدي الكل يصير متطوع.
المجتمع المدني يلي هو بده يكون دائما وراء البلديات، وراء اتحادات البلديات، وراء الإدارات، ليدل على مكامن الخطأ ومكامن الخطر لتفاديه بالمستقبل.
Civil society has a greatest role in disaster risk reduction. That's why we should empower the civil society.
Your input and action is vital to meeting the challenges of a new age of risk in the 21st century.
Of this particular conference, what I really hope will come on the table is a declaration, a set of recommendations which combines the beginning of a vision for what can really assist countries to manage risk and mitigate future risk.